Bass finally we outside. Yo, my dude, yo, Ryan, yo, my nigga, you gotta pay attention, man. Nothing, man. You gotta pay attention. Just put the shit up here like shit about to fall and shit. Bass finally we outside. Come on, y'all, let's go. Name in my comments. She was looking OD from the side. I said she ain't an eater, oh she lied, Oh, yo, listen to Boogie. 3 times, oh you fine, oh you fine. Fine. We outside, let's go. Hey. I know they love my flowers. I rock those days, Cabana. I'm so streets on the side. Yo, thank you for joining us. Yo, it's good. I show some love from the youngins. No more love in the niggas, but I said our company, niggas are comfortable. What's up? We live, y'all. What's up, Carney? What's up, Reese? What's good, John? Listen to the bars. He said, for feet now, waiting at the tech. Drink settings when I hit it to my neck. Big ass purple pump a jet. I'm flexing more than ever. She like money make me wet. And if I'm down for my respect. I'm gonna leave like a million on my neck. Bronx nigga shit. Bronx shit. I ain't gonna lie. Alright, Dad, you get back in there. 3 times like you fine, oh you fine. I know they top niggas. Yo, Paige probably we outside. What's good, my peoples? What's happening? Listen, happy Friday. Let's start it off like that. Listen, it's a good day. We got some things to cover. I'm glad y'all here with me tonight. Like I said, we're here to build motivation. Look, you had a whole nother week just go by. And you know, it's nice and easy. It's calm. You heard? Embrace that. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing hectic right now. We chilling. You know what I mean? Just trying to find our way. Get to where we going, you know? Keep it simple, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Straight up and down. Keep it simple. You know, listen, not for nothing. I know it's been a strenuous week, but you're going to make it, all right? I'm here to tell you, you're going to make it, all right? It took a lot for you to get to this particular point right here, and you did that. You did that. Fuck what they talking about. Fuck what they said. Real talk. We start with that. You know. And, yo, listen. Get into you, and you won't even analyze that type of shit around you. You dig what I'm saying? You shouldn't even have an evaluation about another nigga. Because why the fuck would you be exactly? You know what I mean? Let's start there with it. You know what I mean? It's not even like that. You know what I mean? Your whole mind state is about you sturdying yourself. You understand? That's really what it's about. Now, what that means is, everywhere you go, you know you're him. And you know what you stand for. You understand? And you just envelop that. You dig what I'm saying? You know, your confidence is that high because the things that you're doing, all they can say is no. That's it. And you just ask them straight up and down. You know, you trying to move forward in life. Let me tell you something. When you young and you ambitious and you can give clarity, people will support what you trying to do. All right? Cheat code. Straight up and down. When people see a young person, man, and they striving, they working hard, people will really extend their energies to try to help that person level up. Because a lot of us, not just me, we believe in where y'all trying to go. We believe in what y'all dream in, you know. Because we were like that once too. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't count everybody out. Everybody that's old is not against you. I'm not finna hear and preach that, you know. I realize everybody I know ain't like you, and everybody you know ain't like me. We're gonna live with that. But some people, you know, not for nothing. A reminder, a lot of y'all that's kind of in the middle with shit, trying to figure some shit out. I'm gonna be honest with you. Step to who love you and mean what you say to them. All right? For real. Try to change shit. Try to change the energies. Try to change everything to go a whole nother way for you. Do not sit around beating yourself about shit that just ain't really going your favor. I don't want to hear that shit. All right? It's Friday. All right? We got a whole fresh start next week. You dig what I'm saying? And that's how this going to work. Now, listen, I know I said a lot of shit. And I know it seemed like you got a long way to go and all that, but you really don't. Now, when you need some details about that, hit me in the chat. And we're going to chop it up, man. Stay grounded. You understand me? Keep it fucking simple. It's not complicated. All right? Now is not a good time to be going the fuck to jail. Now is not a good time to be doing desperado shit. It's not that kind of time. That's what we're here for. We're trying to get a certain state of mind so we can move forward peacefully. You understand me? We'll talk. We'll talk. All right? This is how we're going to do this. Let's get right to it. All right? And that's great because this is how I'm starting this off. An idle mind makes for a devil's workshop, right? Now I'm saying this because a lot of y'all do a whole lot of thinking, maybe too much thinking, right? Let's keep this like this here. Now listen, you only get out of some what you put in it, all right? You only get out of some what you put in it. Now, when the mind is idle, you find yourself looking for new ways to waste your fucking time. You see what I'm saying? When you got a couple of hours free, you know you could turn that in. You could turn it into something else instead of looking for an available thrill in the moments that you bored and shit. You know, you can do something else with that kind of time. This is what this conversation is for. So, but you got to remember that your brain is a muscle. Just like the rest of your body, you need to exercise it. All right? I'm saying that to all you 20 blunt a day ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. Read something, exercise your mind, work on some things like what they call that exercise like the rest of your body. Put your mind to work. Read a little bit, play word puzzles, math games, you know, write in a journal to better check your thought processes, you know. And write in script. A lot of y'all forgot how to write in script. Practice. Put your mind to work. And like I said, stop running to Google for everything. Practical thinking. That's what's that today, okay? Because a lot of y'all forgot a lot of that shit. So that's the reminder of that, you know. I said throw some questions in the chat, y'all. Let's talk about it. Because I see y'all, I see sometimes I guess I leave an open end sometime for some of you. And you be needing a little bit more details. I have no problem elaborating on none of that. So let's get that started all right. Now listen, how are we going to do this? Where are we going with this? When you're moving through your day-to-day, all right? When you're moving through your day, you remember, we're trying to raise a vibration here, all right? We're trying to raise a vibration, and we're alive and we're feeling good. You know, so let's talk about some things that he said, how do I get rich at 19? He said, Uncle, I've done everything in my best to let her know it's done, but she won't leave. She won't leave. I told you some people give their life before they change their situation. You know what I mean? And that's the crazy part about that. Now, you're dealing with somebody that won't leave. Either you figure something out or somebody might mess around and get hurt, man. You understand what I'm saying? A decision is going to have to be made. If y'all like this, but y'all like this, what's going to happen? Nothing good can come out of that. I really mean that, you know. So find a way to fix the situation before things really do it. You know what I mean? And cops is called, and charges is filed, and yeah. So make that happen. Now, so listen. He said, what happened? They going fast with the questions, Ryan.
Advice for a 20-year-old, every part of my life. Wait, hold on. Let's go. Same topic. He said she done a lot of dirt, but brings up my retaliation, and we've been tight since teens. That's the guy who.
Oh, so she never really forgave him. She never really forgave you. She just said it. That's why she keep bringing it up. You know, she does this to knock you off your deem. You know, no matter how you went up here with it after that, and now she just keep trying to knock you back down there to make you keep starting over. You understand? You made up for it and you apologized and you worked past it. And then when you try to show you a little betterment, she tries to knock you back down to that moment when you were at your lowest. You know what I'm saying? She keeps reminding you that. How long can you put up with that? Real talk. If somebody gonna keep on reminding you of a mistake that you made, they never really got over it. And how long can you put up with them never really getting over it? You dig what I'm saying? So it's how much you can put up with that determines that question. Anything else, Ryan?
He done with the games, and she not. She want to keep playing games. He tired of that shit. And I honestly would say, move on, brother. Y'all probably not on the same frequency right now. You probably, honestly, you probably on some grown man shit, and she probably on some little girl shit. And she thinking because y'all got history, because y'all did this before, that it's gonna keep going on. Nah. Something gotta change.
Something gotta change. Straight up. Something gotta change. Check it, right? Listen. You know, a lot of the questions that y'all asking me, you kind of subconsciously already know the answer. You see what I'm saying? Y'all done already, but she won't leave. You know she gotta go. You know. So now it's just how long can you put up with her being there when you know she gotta go? It's how much you can tolerate. And so that's what happens when you stay and you do this and you do that and the third. It's how much can you put up with, because I just said it last night. Don't wait till shit blow up to make the move when you know it's already bad ball and blood there. It can only get worse at this point. You know what I mean? You know, it just take one little starter broke the camel's back, and now she want to fight, want to break the TV and shit. Try to get it done quietly. And listen, let me tell you something. If you and your situation have grown apart, real talk, if you have, you know, make a decision. Don't torture each other. Don't keep on wrecking the car over and over again, clashing, because that's not good. You understand? You got your life to live too, you know. How you gonna give somebody something they don't want to give you back? I'm trying to raise your awareness. Face what it really is. What you signed up for, you know? Whatever it is you and these people doing, you agreed to it, y'all had some type of understanding, and now things have changed. Yeah, they have. Don't psychoanalyze it. They don't want you no more, beat it. Don't want nobody that don't want you. You understand me? And that's really how it is. You know, and not for nothing, I say that because I'm quite sure that you gave this person some of the best of you. And it wasn't enough. You understand what I'm saying? But that don't measure you. You keep on going. You understand? You keep on going. That don't measure you. Alright? Now, any more questions before I keep going?
It was. A girl need advice for like parents who play court games. Well, she co-parent, a co-parent situation, and people going to the courts.
Most of the time, people go to the courts just because people are not cooperating with one another. You got to ask yourself how y'all got in court. Did you let him see your son? Did he have to go to court to see him? You know, and if he went to court, shit, he signed up for child support. That's how bad he want to see his child. So I don't know. I don't know if you're cooperating or not, but men don't like going to court. They miss days off of work and all that kind of shit. You know, so if he went to court, he really wanted to see his child. I think it's important to him. Please be easy with the situation. Don't let what y'all going through affect the child. That's my advice to you. Okay? Try to resolve it without some white boy telling y'all how to govern your children. Okay? Listen, remember what I told you. The world should not be introduced to that child without him, regardless of your feelings. All right? Grow the fuck up. All right? I understand you and him ain't feeling each other. You know damn well he love that child. Okay? Cooperate for the love of your child. All right? He ain't gonna hurt her. Okay? He's not gonna hurt her. Y'all knock it off. All right. Definitely cooperating. He's been here since birth. He just wants to control my life. How can he control your life going to court for your child? He can't. He can't. You going to court for the child. He can't control your life, and you going to court for the child, baby. Think about it. He didn't take you to court. He took you to court for the child. Straight up and down. If he was seeing the child when he wanted to, he wouldn't take you to court. How can he control your life through a parenting court? He can't. He just want to make sure you keep the child straight with him. That's all he can do in court. He can't control you from that. So you got to worry about that. Okay. And be vindictive and petty. Vindictive and petty. The child, you got the child. You have the child though. So I don't know. You know. What's your advice you have for a father that only want to be in the child's life only because of the mama? What? Only because of the mama? You being in the child's life ain't got nothing to do with the mother. You're the father. All right? If you want to mark the rest of your days, my dude, get off of that bullshit, all right? Listen, you cannot blame somebody.
That's a girl that asked that.
What she said? Say that again. Answer the question again.
What's your advice? What advice do you have for a father that only wants to be in the child's life only because of the mom?
That's the whole. Okay, so from the other perspective of that, you know, a lot of women go through this. You heard? They feel like if they stop dealing with this man, he gonna stop being a father. And a lot of you men threaten that. You dig what I'm saying? Get it from get it from wherever you trying to go with it. Shit like that, you know what I mean? Get it from the phone number I found or whatever, even though y'all not really together. So you got to keep coupling with this nigga because you still want him to, you know, cooperate with the child. Again, how long can you put up with that? Real talk. See, when the father is a heel of a motherfucker, the child will figure that out on their own. You heard? Now, if you got to stop doing what you're doing with him, then you got to stop doing what you're doing with him, period. You know that. Because right now, he blocking your door. Real talk. He blocking the door. You know. A lot of people, they fine as long as you single. Because as soon as you find somebody, that's when all hell breaks loose. Get him out of that shit now. Because every time you couple with him, have sex with him, he go back to that same mind state that you really trying to get away from. That's why y'all not together right now. Stop, break the cycle. Got to cut him off. You know what I mean? And listen, man, I don't give a fuck how much money you spent on that woman. All right? If you wasn't born with it, it ain't yours. You just spent 5 bands on this chick. She has a right to get up the next day and go that way. And you got to eat that. Or catch a case. And why would you catch a case for 5 bands? You can get that back. You know what I mean? So, you know, don't never give a woman what you know you're going to miss. All right? Straight them down. Now, mind you, listen, women can do what they want to do when they get ready to do it. Women are fickle. They can change their mind at any moment. All right? And they going to never pay to control the woman at all. In energy and money, it just never pays. It's never a good look, okay? But you really have some men out here that really base their relationship with their child based on the woman. Figure that out and decide how much of that you're going to put up with. You heard me? For real. Because you're going to have to really have some serious talks with this because you can't keep going that way with him. You know what I mean? You're going to have to break it off because he's blocking the door from what's supposed to happen next for you. See, listen, there's what you did and there's what you were supposed to do. All right? Now, for a lot of y'all, listen up. Learn a moment. You had a baby with that chick over there. All right? You had a baby with her. Real life shit. But you wasn't supposed to. You wasn't supposed to. It was a moment where your mind was totally somewhere else and you had a baby with her, but you wasn't supposed to. Now, you have the baby with her, and y'all don't click on no levels. The whole thing has just been a train wreck, trying to co-parent with this chick, trying to get on the same page. And you like, damn, this my baby mother. Word up. You weren't supposed to have a baby with her, but you did. Real talk. I'm going to tell you, take a deep breath and go handle that. Because that baby didn't ask to come here and that baby yours. And that's what happened. You know, a lot of the times, when you set yourself up to have a child, all right, where the love is there, it ain't got to be the fucking money. When you love this woman enough to enjoy the child she's going to have for you, things are different. Because you were supposed to have a child with the woman that you felt like that about from your spirit. You had a woman that you had no spiritual connection to at all. Y'all were just connected biologically through science. You see what I'm saying? And turns out y'all spirit ain't gonna never be connected, but y'all had a baby. Now, you can't leave the child because you know the baby is infected with what she is. So you can't leave the baby to just that. So you got to handle your business, get over there and do that. Save your child from the worst parts of her. And save your child from the worst parts of you because it's your child. All right? And it's not even hard. Okay, I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not a lot. Involve yourselves in the little, be attentive to the little things that regarding your child's growth. Be there at the first day of school. Go to parent-teacher conference. You understand me? You pay attention to those little things. Play with her when she plays with her toys. It'll teach her train of thought. You understand with her? Talk to her about little things. Teach her critical thinking young. She needs to know how you think it. You need to tell her how you want her to be. Remember what I said. Just like you teach children how you turn letters into words, you're supposed to teach boys how they turn into men. And you're supposed to teach girls how they turn into women. You have to do that. Okay? Don't let the world explain to them what that is and what that looks like. Because then you set yourself up for a whole lot of shenanigans and problems later on down the line. Okay? That's your job. That's your job. We not here on this earth long. Make better use of your time. Okay? You got about 4 hours a day, you ain't really doing shit. Fill that shit up with something. Okay? I'm saying it because you're young now. All right? You're young now. And some of the things that you can do in 2 years, you have it finished. You'll be set. What I mean is you'll be looking at a better thing. You'll be looking at better days going forward if you just spend 2 years learning something. All right? I'm going to keep on fucking saying it because I want it to fucking stick. All right? I'm rooting for you. That ass, I'm rooting for you. All right? Ain't nobody coming out here to help you, man. And then when they do help you, they only help you when they see you helping yourself. When they see you with nothing and you seem like a zero, they not extending no hand to you because they can't see no way of it coming back. That's why Cadillac Urban said on your worst, they look your best. Win, win, win. When you hit the block, act like you just hit a motherfucking lick and them niggas will hang on every word you say. And because you have that winning energy, they gonna bring you in on the next piece of motion coming through because you like that. You don't wear all that shit on your face. You know what I mean? Remember what I told you. Them one moments don't make you. You bigger than that. Know that. You're gonna fail once or twice. The only thing that surpasses that is getting back to it. I'm here to remind you. Yeah. The OGing over here today. I mean that shit. This is what we're doing on a Friday night. I want you to feel better when you leave this motherfucker. You understand me? Yes. I be cursing. But I'm talking to my peoples and I want them to fucking win from here. I mean that shit. I ain't here to play with them. Alright? We're not here telling war stories and shit. Alright? We're not here pointing fingers at the people who did wrong. Because all you motherfuckers did wrong. And I ain't always been no angel. Alright? What don't kill you make you stronger. From this point on, there are no more mistakes. Only lessons. That means for every motherfucking thing that went left, you learn something from it. Don't let the bullshit happen twice. Fortify your motherfucking self. That shit that went left on you made you stronger. Your armor's thicker now. Alright? You fuck with me every day, words ain't gonna bother you. Because I just gave you the worst words you can hear out on the streets. And they flew right by you. Shit, motherfucker, goddamn. Yeah. It ain't nothing. They ain't number words. Feelings can be controlled. All this type of shit is learned behavior. Catch the message, catch the energy, catch the vibe, and change yourself. Fix yourself. Don't go doubling back, hurting yourself over shit you can't change, because what happened, happened. And I ain't saying it ain't affect you. It affected you, but I guess what? You learn how to not let that shit repeat itself. You understand me? And you take what you learned out of that and you pass it on to the next person. You understand? Teach all you learned in this life. It'll make your life more fulfilling. You understand? And when you pass out those fulfillings, all those energies come back. All right? Try to enjoy all the things and the fruits that God has to give us. Put yourself in a position where you enjoy the light of God. You understand me? To do that, you need to have good thoughts, good energy, positive outlooks on things. Positive outlook on things.
Stop thinking of the worst and hoping for the better. No. Hope for the better. If it don't go right, it's all right. Your life ain't at fucking risk. And if you're doing shit where your life is at risk, knock it the fuck off. You want tomorrow to come. Easy. And not in a motherfucking jail cell. All right? Okay, where we going? Any questions in the chat? Shakur, what's good?
So I ask, are you doing anything in the community for young boys? Your words are strong and needed.
Oh, man, that's crazy. I've been doing this shit for 30 years, man, since I came home, you know, in my neighborhood, you know, and I just so happened, I feel, my daughters and my kids, they told me I could reach more people if I did it this way, you know, and I pretty much, I raised pretty much my whole hood, you know. I'm dead serious, you know, if you ain't ate out of my house, you ain't even from the hood. Word up, I live in a high-rise building, you know, and they say the neighborhood is dangerous, but, you know, you can't never bleed the numbers. You understand? You can't never bleed the numbers. And, you know, on that note, I want to say this. Stop acting like y'all don't know where y'all live at. Y'all know where you live at. Y'all know where the hot block's at. Y'all know where the bullshit at. Okay? Y'all know where it's at. You know where you live at. Instead of trying to keep your child from knowing that, give your child an understanding of where you live at. So that way they'll know how to be safe. Don't trick your child into thinking y'all living in a safe motherfucking neighborhood and you're not. You understand? Stop tricking your fucking children with the bullshit. It's not fucking TV. Okay? It's dangerous around here. Okay? Every day on my fucking thing, some kid that came up missing. Now, granted, they could have ran away. But all of them didn't fucking run away. All of them, you know, a little girl I seen the other day, she was like 13. But I swear to God, she looked like she was 6 or 7. But because she was 13, pardon me, they let her rock. Nah. Think past that. You know, the neighborhood can be a dangerous place if you're not aware of the dangers surrounding you. How do you expect your child to stay safe if you haven't made them aware of how dangerous things could be if they don't move and operate a certain particular way? Teach that to your child. Don't teach them just how to cross the fucking street. All right? Seriously. That's not a man's job. That's an adult's job. Okay? I'm here to remind you some things. Raise your awareness here. Okay? Real talk. So, listen. I be outside. Pays Folly, we outside. You heard? And I be seeing a few things, you know. The other day I seen a pack of little girls. They were just happy. Nigga this, nigga that, mother effing this and that. Just cursing. They was happy. And I just didn't like the way none of their hairstyles was. You know? I can tell that they did it themselves, you know. And these girls, none of them is over 11. You know, and they needed some help with their hand them on them, you know. And I don't even know who I need to say this to, but please tend to your daughter hair in the morning. You heard me? Make sure that boy put on a clean shirt and wash his fucking face. Seriously. All right? I don't know who need to hear it, but I want you to do something about that, you know. And another thing, if the kid is in at least 3rd grade, they need deodorant. You heard? Just a reminder, just to raise the awareness. If you did it, so be it, you know. It's just a little bit, because I be outside, you know. I got on the bus the other day, man, the back of the bus, a bunch of kids, and it smelled horrible, you heard? It really did, you know. And so I try to pass those things along, you know. And any questions in the chat? I didn't really want to say too much about it, but I wanted to mention it, you know, because I'm a father. And that's why I say it, you know what I mean? So listen, we can get back, because I have a whole agenda here, y'all. Now get it twisted. Friday night, we doing this. Now listen, I already did this here. Now I'm gonna tell you something right now. Be nice and cordial when you're moving out through your day. All right? And I'm gonna tell you something. And this is for real right here. We're gonna start this off like this. Ladies, you need to hear this. Please understand. And I gotta say this because I want the ladies to stay safe. But a lot of times, a lot of selfish thinking put them in a predicament where they're not safe. And I don't like that, you know what I mean? So anyway, I need you to understand the motivation behind the sneaky link and what you need to understand. I know you get bored, but you also be influenced by social media, single friends and shit. You heard me? You know, I know it's a lot of that going on. Now, while you out here getting brainwashed by social media and single friends and shit, all right, ride with me for a second. You wondering if the man you already with is your person. Listening to them, you doubting what you already got at the crib. You know, which means I think you're overly influenced by other people's situations because you already got a man. You know, so we're gonna start there, right? Now, why are you even thinking about that when you have a man? Because he busting his ass to keep you happy and comfortable, right? And one day you pop up with this bullshit talking about you not happy. This is just what came out of nowhere. Now, you know that part. That's what you said to this man. You're not happy. Now, you're not seeing this man thought. This man thought he was winning. He going to work every day. And he like, what the fuck? Rain, sleet, or snow. Your whole life is catered to you by this man. In his head, he think, I completely gave my whole self to taking care of this woman. This is what he feeling in the moments you say shit like that. You know what I mean? Now, I need you to see this in real time. You know, he felt all his efforts and energies were in this. That's what he felt. And woman, that mean that he gave his whole life he would have gave his whole life for what y'all had together in that moment when you said that to him. That's how much he was invested emotionally with what y'all was doing, you know. The whole time you was listening to these different influences and questioning your situation with him, this man thought everything was the other side of the rainbow, you know. The whole while you getting transfixed on this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You know. We're going to finish this out, but take this as a warning to learn from it. Now, that man was really loving on you, all right? In his mind, he thought he had everything. And he would have loved you like that until they put him in the dirt. You know that man loved you, you know. Now, all the things you put in his head to justify your motion, mixed with bad influence, over time worked against him. You started distancing yourself from him, you know what I mean? You stopped expressing yourself. You know, you stopped talking verbally. You started staying stuck in your head. You started getting distracted, never in the mood. It's like he had to convince you to give yourself to him. This is what happened over the course of you getting transfixed by this bullshit. These are some of the signs that those things were taking place, you know, because you were mentally checking out. You know, started getting in your phone more. You wasn't verbally talking to him. You know, you was distracted because you were in the moment of mentally checking out because you started questioning your relationship. And now you're mentally checking out on purpose, you know. Now, while you were working on mentally detaching yourself from the bond that y'all had, he's been trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with wifey, you know. He feels your energy, you know. He knows shit is a little bit off, you know, but not to the point of a fucking done deal. He don't think that, you know. The moment you made your mind up to express to him, I can't go on like this. He thinking, what the fuck? That's what you said to him. I can't go on like this. I can't do this no more. That's one of the statements that they make. You just went straight and jumped to the fucking end. All right? Now, the first thing, when you said that, the first thing he gonna think, listen, woman, this is a learning moment. When you say that, I can't do this no more, the first thing he gonna think is that how the fuck we go straight to the end. Now we can work something out. You went straight to it's over. The first thing a man is going to think is, it's got to be another nigga. How the fuck you just tell me just now out of nowhere, you can't do this no more? Like we won good money last week. In his head, you heard? So he feel like, when the fuck you got to know this nigga to say some shit like that to me? And you eat out of my, listen. To a man, You cannot eat out of his hand and shit in his face. You can't piss on that man and tell him it's raining. He's going to have a problem with that. You understand me? Now, the point, the point is, that's the first thing he's going to think. Now, he feel like he been busting his ass to keep you happy. And the next nigga just finna walk in and walk off with you. Because see, this is sudden. This happened all of a sudden. While you was just, transitioning and shit, he felt you was a little bit off, but he didn't feel that y'all was a final destination off. That shocked the shit out of him. You understand what I'm saying? That shocked the shit out of him because he feel like in his head, he feel like he been doing everything to keep you happy and comfortable. This is what he thinking. You don't really know what he thinking because you've been selfish thinking about you and making up some type of situation where you deserve to go where you going. So you stop investing in what he was doing in his energies. You see what I'm saying? Because you got distracted. Now, mind you, remember, while you were getting him out your system, he was blind to all that you was going through. You know what I'm saying? Because you was acting like everything was cool, because you was still trying to figure the other guy out. So during that transition of time, you was just acting. You was faking in front of this man. Because you was trying to still get to know old boy. So you spent the period of time being a phony, you dig what I'm saying, with your man that you got right now because you was learning this other nigga. And you hadn't learned him yet. So you spent some time being 100% phony, all right? Now, off of that, because you was being selfish, thinking about yourself. Now, that's some bullshit. Now, your man, after them long days of work, 90% of the time, it becomes a dangerous situation because he done worked all day and now you want to tell him you can't do this no more. It becomes a dangerous situation. You understand? So please learn from this because 90% of the women who go through this never find that kind of love again. You heard? All right? They want you to pay on Patreon and shit, Now, to hear their story and shit, you know what I mean? They want you to come on Patreon and hear how they fucked up their life. You dig what I'm saying? I was married 22 years and I left my husband. I've been divorced for 7 years and now he's getting married. And I want my life back. She's sitting in the car looking suicidal and shit. It's a bunch of that.
I ain't gonna lie, women,
it's a bunch of that.
It's some women in the comments.
What happened?
They was like, can the woman go back? And then somebody was like, she's like, but there's some women that move on without it being a new man in their life.
That's a good one. But my thing is, you made him your man. What the fuck went wrong? We have to say no woman does that. I kind of agree with that. But anyway, yeah, because he was everything to you. And then he wasn't. I got to put that on you. Let's just say 2 months ago you loved the man. Now you don't. I'm just saying. What did he do any different that made you not love him today, but you loved him 2 months ago? You have to ask yourself that because you felt different. Listen, that's the whole point. The whole time you were feeling different, he was loving your ass. And while you were examining your feelings, you was being phony to him like you was in love and you wasn't. And then you figured out finally that you wasn't in love with him, but he done put a whole bunch of work into loving you and it was for nothing. That'll make a man dangerous. Be careful out here. All right? If you ain't loving that man, get the fuck out of his life. You heard me? If that man is loving you and you don't love him like that, figure out a fucking exit plan before shit go left. You sending that man out there working all that old fucked up ass weather and you thinking about who you gonna fuck with next? Don't do that. It's not a good look. All right? It's not a good look. What else is in that chat, man? Because I'll straighten these chicks out right now. We ain't finna do that. Straight up and down. We ain't finna do that.
Ask you a question.
What's that?
She said, can you talk and breathe life on deadbeat fathers and not doing what they need?
On deadbeat fathers. I'm gonna tell you something about deadbeat fathers, baby. One day he's going to wake up and want to be a father. We don't know when, So I'm gonna ask you, as a father, when that day arrives, please give him a chance. Because, you know, the reason I'm saying that, because he's still the kid's father. In the gutter, dope fiend out. That's still their dad. Right? Allow them to get to know him, or they will hold it against you. If he's a heel of a motherfucker, let them figure that out for themselves, or they'll hold it against you. Deadbeat or not. He shouldn't need money to see his kids. Let's start there. All right? I'm not gonna tell you no lies. All right? Remember, when a person lies, it's because the truth, they fear the truth. All right? They lie to benefit it. No. You told a lie because it was something that you feared about the truth to this person. I'm a no-fear man. There's no reason for me to lie to you. There's no fear. There's nothing to gain from me lying to you. So I'm going to tell you the truth. And so me being a kind man, I'm going to use gentleness when I deliver the message if I feel it's of a negative nature. Real talk. Practice that. Beware of the bearer of bad news. Sometimes they're telling you the truth, but it's not to help you. It's to break you. Remember that. Another question in the chat before I go on.
I ain't gonna lie. One dude was like, why would a father have a kid and not want to be involved?
Because, remember what I told you. You can't expect for somebody to know what they've never been taught. He don't know. His aspirations of what a dad is not what yours is, okay? Real talk. Remember what I said about people's intelligence. Some ceiling of their intelligence is this high, and some ceilings of intelligence are this high. You know? And you got to remember, some men are grown at 21 years old in stature. Some men don't get to that stature till they're 40. That's a real thing. All right? Straight up and down. That's a real thing. I know some dudes 45 years old still act like kids, worrying about when the next Jordans is dropping. Fuck out of here. Yeah, that's a real thing. And that's another thing. You shouldn't have better footwear than your fucking kids, my nigga. You heard me? You shouldn't have better footwear than your children. Straight up and down. Just like I told you women. Your hair should not cost more than your daughter's hair if her hair ain't done. Her hair should be done first, and then you take the rest and get yours done. But that money for your hair, pay for hers to get done first. Because you doing hair and all that. Your bullshit hairstyles last 3 days and all that. Yeah, spend a couple hours on your daughter first. Cheap ass. Anyway, back to the chat. What we doing, man? What's good?
I was like, what you doing if your baby mom don't have your name under your child's birth certificate?
You got to go to court for that, and you got to work that out with the baby mother. Yeah, word up. You got to go. You can petition for it. You can go to family court and petition for it. You heard? Word. You can petition for it. You know, while you're doing it, you might as well get a DNA test too.
He said, why I'm doing it like that?
It's all in the same package.
Do you recommend genetic testing on every kid? What y'all niggas going through?
Hey, yo, man, I'm going to say this. You hear me? It's 30 days out the month. How much of her time can you account for? Sneaky linking a real thing.
Honestly speaking, if you gotta ask that question, you already in bad state for it.
Yo, I'm right here, y'all. I'm telling y'all, listen, shit is real. I know I said it. I know I said a lot. But you know, a lot of these things I said are for you to learn from going forward in your life. You know what I mean? Don't be. What do you do if the baby daddy doesn't want to be in the child's life because she's not with him? That's a whole problem. That's a real thing, you know. And he don't want to be in the life. Yeah, a lot of young men go through that. But like I said, one day he gonna wake up, and you're gonna have to figure that out. Real talk. But you just have to keep on worrying about your child. And every chance you get, you have to let him know that the child is more important than what he's going through with you. Some kind of way. You're going to have to talk to somebody that's close to him. You dig what I'm saying? Straight up and down. Really make those efforts. for the child, because the baby just getting older and older, time just going by, you know, and the baby need him. You have to really make a plea to him, you know what I mean? And that's it. But you're going to have to be done with him. But be kind about doing it. Let him know it ain't about you and him hating each other. It's not about that. It's about the baby. That's the way you're going to have to come to him. All right? You're going to have to use some of those woman nurturing skills to touch this man's spirit about that baby. Some men is like that, you know. We don't know what's inside that man, you know, but clearly it's something blocking the care he has to give. And you're going to have to touch it some kind of way. You know, talk to his mama. Word up. Talk to somebody that loves him. That part. Okay, listen. Now, I wanted to finish my point on that. The point on that was this. This is a warning. Stop working so hard to ruin the relationship you already in. You heard? The grass is not greener on the other side. Stop being selfish, all right? You know, stop thinking a good moment could lead to love. You got it mixed up. That was lust. You fucked your whole life up over lust. For real. You got into a moment. You know, you were sipping on some wine. It was nice. You caught the vibe. That's lust. That's not fucking love. Real talk. You was inebriated and all that. Yeah. And think about it. You inebriated every time you fuck with this nigga. How much did you learn from that? Every time y'all meet up, y'all get nice, get inebriated, and do that, and you go your way. You don't know nothing about that man. You dig what I'm saying? And if that's what's happened, that man is nothing to you. What's up, son? How can I help you?
You were just speaking facts. I was just listening. I hope
You dig what I'm saying? Straight up and down. He's nothing to you. I'm tired of that, man. Somebody said a rule, if you smash 3 times, y'all a thing. That's a whole motherfucking lie. Y'all ain't nothing. Fuck out of here. Wish you would. That's a crime. Come looking for a nigga after 3 times smashing, you're going to jail. That's what, knock it off. Straight up and down. That's not a real thing. I don't believe in that. You know, and while we on that note, ain't no freaking shortage of men. I don't know where y'all got that from. Ain't no shortage of men out here. You know? I don't know what everybody talking about that for. Now listen. All y'all like the same men. And y'all been sharing them same men for years. Y'all have no clue how to find a diamond in the rough. All right? So we're gonna talk about that right quick. Because ain't no shortage of men. All y'all been dealing with the same niggas. Word. Just like a whole lot of these niggas been dealing with the same chicks. Same chicks at all the same parties. Same niggas is there too. Yeah, that part. All right? Now damn. The shit happened right in front of y'all. Y'all watch women start off with men that had nothing to do. Y'all gotta find a man that got a great heart. You heard me? And great energy. And y'all didn't. All right? He didn't get rich. I gotta say this the way I was supposed to. They had nothing but a great heart. Start off with men that had nothing but a great heart and energy. And they didn't get rich, but they lived well enough to have a good life. When I say a good life, I mean a life with love. When you find a man with a good heart and good energy, sometimes that have led to a good life. Well enough for a good life. And that's a life with love. Now, I know y'all on the internet want any man that's not like your father, you know, because your pops was not rich. And he did all right by you. He gave you his best. Even though you want a man to make 3 times what your father made, you want him to have 3 times what your father made, y'all running around looking for a finished product. You know? Think about it. Most of the successful men were broke with these women. You heard? Remember when I told you, listen, men built the world. Okay? Some men died in that and hurt themselves in that. All right? And what I told you, the 4 Bibles of the earth said, a woman is the man's heaven on earth. There's nothing greater for a man than his woman when she's loving him. There's nothing greater for a man. Okay? So when he out there trying to build the world to keep us alive and progressing in this world, your only job when he comes home is to build that man up with that woman nurturement that you have. Build him back up so he can go out there and do it all again tomorrow. That's your job. That's your job. Build that man up and get him back out there to do it again tomorrow. All right? It's just that simple. Okay? We talk about what women want from men. We talk about what men want from women. And they're not the same. When you ask a man, you hear me, Shakur? When you ask a man the top 5 things he wants out of a woman, the top 3 is kindness. Kindness. Did you hear what I said? When you ask a man his top 3 qualities in a woman he's looking for, his top 3 has kindness in it. Okay? When you ask that of a woman, her shit is totally... kindness is not even in her fucking top 10. Dead ass. Payday, am I lying? Dead ass. It's not. Our list of what we want in each other is totally different. So how the fuck are we supposed to match up? You know, you understand what I'm saying? You know, this is why you're not meeting nobody. Your requirements for a man is not on his requirements for his woman. This is why y'all not linking up. And again, the niggas you meeting is on some Duke Dennis shit. They ain't got no woman. They just dating. Hence, they just fucking out here in these streets. They not claiming nothing. Period. Yeah. That Duke Dennis shit is a real thing, you heard? He just the only one I know put a label on it. No, I just date. That was fire. That shit really worked. And it's a whole lot of dudes that really do that. And they run around here like they marriage material. They got their ducks in a row. They doing good in life. And they know that they're looking for a wife. You know. Only problem is, you're not Miss Right. You're Miss Right now. Yeah. Period. All right? So now if you got a, so that's the problem. Now those men that you want a finished product. You want a man that's already built and made up in diamond shapes. Already. But when a man like that, he already got a woman. She was with him when he was still just a fucking rock. You heard me? You attracted to this diamonds, but you forgot a woman made that diamond. So now your mission is to steal a diamond from another woman. A diamond of a man from another woman. That's what you've been doing. You keep trying to get these top 10 niggas when they already got a situation going on. You see what I'm saying? That's why you ain't got no man. Because you low-key trying to steal other chicks' men. When they out there running around in between shit, in the meantime, in between time, you trying to, yeah. And that's all you gonna be. In the meantime and in between time, that's all you gonna be. Sneaky linking and all that. Word up. Because listen, if a man can do this and get right back without no qualms, he'll do that. If you think that's gonna make him yours, I got a bridge I wanna sell you in Brooklyn. Fuck out of here. Don't be stupid on purpose. Word up. Straight up and down. Real talk. You know what I mean? Listen. Now, it's some regular dudes out here. Okay? They nice dudes. But guess what? They got good hearts and they don't got no problem doing a hard day's work. Alright? And they smart. You might be that jumper cable to take them to the next level. You know? Sometimes a man needs his confidence tweaked just a little bit to inspire his ambition. You could be that woman. Instead of running around looking for a man that some other woman already made, get a man that fuck with you and all he needs is a little bit of tweaking. Because he care enough about you to let himself be tweaked a little bit. Because he want to keep you. Why do we cooperate with each other? Because we want to stay together. You understand? That's how that works. You know. Real shit over here. Pace Fowler, we outside. That's what we do over here, man. Now, mind you, knock it off with that. And it's a good man right up under your nose. Okay? Smile more. Stop acting like you at work when you're moving around in the streets. Stop critiquing everybody as soon as you meet them. Stop thinking you can judge this man and you know him all the 30 seconds. You can't call it. Because he might be somebody that'll give you his all. Remember when I told you, women? Cheat code. If you warm a man's heart right, you'll have him forever. Do you understand what I mean by warm his heart? When I say warm his heart, I mean do something dear to him. And if you don't know anything dear to him, damn it, you ain't on your job, you don't know him. Now, come on. Find out what's dear to that man and do that for him. You heard me? He getting up going to work every day. He making sure your phone and shit stay on. You got your feet and nails did. He handling that. Do something special for him, okay? Listen, we are men. We know we're not going to get pats on the back for what we do because that's what we're supposed to do. But as our woman, it would really feel good to feel gratitude coming from you. You know why? Because when I eat, you eat. When I shop, you shop. When I sleep, you eat. When I smile, you smile. When light shine on me, it shine on us. You heard me? Yeah. If you got a man that's giving you that kind of energy and spirit, please show that man some warmness to his heart. If you don't, please. I want people to stay together and I want the violence to stop. It has to start somewhere. You fucking with the OG. Page 5, leave we outside. Fuck with me every night. You heard me? You're going to always leave with some good shit. You know, I can be a little brash, but you know I'm a father. All right? I'm a husband. You heard me? I'm a friend. You heard me? And I'm an OG raised by a gangster. Yeah. Went to college and jail and all that. Yeah. I'm not going to ask you to do what I don't practice. None of us have all the answers and none of us are perfect. What they say, Shakur, God's still working with me. And he's still working with you too. You heard? That's how we doing it. Page Folly, we outside. Got another question in the chat right quick?
Yeah, I got you.
Word up, man. So we do over here, man.
I ain't gonna lie.
Friday
Honestly,
night.
now they was just saying preach, peace and love and all that.
Okay, that's what's up. Turn, hit my song, son. Yeah. What's the Bronx shit, you heard? She was 90. She was dying.
But do the same thing, say I'm not shit. I ain't do the same thing, I think I'm crying. She got a little deeper through the process. She can't hide it. Walk around 2 bitches in my pocket. Ready to cockpit, flipping nigga like a socket. Nigga wait before the fame, we was wildin'. The Quado with the projects. And it's a shame all the bitches that was curving. I see the same damn names in the comments. She was looking OD from the side. I said she ain't eat it, oh she lied, oh she lied. Woke up the 3 bitches in my bedroom. We say good times, let me fine. I ain't rockin' with no hoe, niggas all bozo. That's a no, nigga, nah. I know nigga, my fly doorway, I ride Dolce and Gabbana. Most my niggas in the streets when they could've been these fucked up, they even better do fair time. When you roll about your press on mine, if it's money you need mine, 45 to the headline. If I keep it by the dresser, that's plenty, bitch, you ever try to
Yeah. 9 o'clock, y'all. Yeah. Tomorrow night, Saturday night. Let's get it in. Yeah.
Company, niggas comfortable. Fuck with it. She fuck with me, and it's probably because I'm from the X, what it takes for respect. Thought I would've did it to the grave, and my death ain't fit for a week. Now I hate make you text. Now I translated from my sweater to my hat. Things put me on a big ass purple for my jet. I'm flexing more than ever, shit like money made me wet.
Yeah.
And when I die, I'm die for my respect. I'm in the music with a million on my neck. She was looking more deep from the side up. Said she didn't eat it when she died on the top. Page 5, we outside. Friday night, I hope y'all enjoying yourself. We're about to get out of here. Any other questions, hit the DMs.
Be safe out there, you heard me?